and boys, welcome to another special episode of Conversation Redriven. I'm really loving these Redriven episodes because they are taking me back in time and I'm getting an opportunity to also enjoy the cars that we lived with, the cars that we grew with. And I hope you're doing the same as well. So, the car we're having today, we've been on a budget trajectory on the Redriven. And I believe from next week, switch gears kidogo. Tunatoka kwa magari za chini ya mita, we are stepping up now. We go to something above 1.1, 1.3 mic there, so that watu wapo pia, they get to see the Redriven or the pre-owned cars that they can buy for that budget. So today, we are featuring a car that is quite renowned on the Kenyan market. It's a car that we've grown up with. It's a car that moved families from point A to point B. It's a car that has carried potatoes, waru, napier grass, hata kondos zikipelekwa soko because karibu na hii gari before you guys assimilated yourself and grew into the newer models like the Noah. This is the car that people used to buy. And in fact, it was so popular among families and moving people around that it was given a name. And the name that was given was a people's carrier. And this is the Toyota Ipsum. Look at how magnificent and beautiful that car is. Of course, this one is 2004. That's the year of manufacture of this one. But this car was produced from 1995 all the way to 2010. Okay? So hapo katikati kuna a few variants here and there. This one that we're looking at is a facelifted version because it was facelifted in 2003. It got a few improvements here and there that are negligible. Ukisikia Toyota wanasema facelift. Sio ati hiyo facelift ni kitu ya maana. It's something that, it's negligible. But let's get into it and see, does this car make value for money? Does it make worth for you to buy this car and use it for your family activities, your business, or hauling any luggage that you want to? Welcome to Redriven. So, this is a multi-purpose van or an MPV in short. Back in the days, guys were not as aggressive with having bigger cars and taller cars. For example, the Toyota Noah, the Toyota Alphard, the Honda Step Wagon. Guys were not into those cars back then. They were considered bulky, huge, and guys wanted streamlined, sleek-looking cars. And that's why you have this car. If you look at this car carefully, it doesn't really look like it can carry 7 people. This is the same car that inspired the Wish. So it doesn't look like it can carry 7 people. But yes, it can actually haul comfortably 7 people. And Toyota was doing this thing where it is creating cars that will cross-multiply or cross-work in different sections. If you look at the front of this car, ukiangalia gari kama ka Toyota Alex, ama ka Toyota Ranex, ukiangalia the front fascia, it looks like the same. Ukiangalia hizi mataa kama za Alex, aka ka grill hapa, it was a simplistic designed car. Haikuwa na mambo mingi. Kama the side profile again, hii mambo wako, people are not thinking about extreme stylish stuff. It was a simple, elegant, streamlined car. But one thing I need you to notice is how huge this door is. Okay, the doors are very huge. And this one will actually allow you now to move in and move out of the car comfortably. We'll get to the interior, but that's what you get. One other special element of these multipurpose vans back then, this one to be specific, was the fact that ulikuwa unapata ground clearance iko fiti sana. Now look at this car. Una ground clearance iko fiti. Na hizi wheels zake ni size 16. Okay? But you can get this car with also size 17. Now Kenya, you can even modify this car and you can slap on some 18s if you go low profile, because these cars in different markets, people have done very crazy stuff with these cars. They have created body kits that make this car look something totally different. Hii gari is the same car now. There's this car that I love also because it's unique and special. There's a car that they call the Toyota Vios. If you look at the Toyota Vios that exist in Thailand and Malaysia, what they have done to those cars. Perfecto. Now, come to the rear. Part of the, facelifted options that were given to this car was like having this rear brake light, the third brake light positioned here with a nice spoiler that is just subtle and easy to look at. And then the rear face again, it looked like just any other Toyota. There's nothing serious about design of these elements. They're just creating streamlined cars that will give you better drag coefficients like kusave mafuta. Basically for them, they're going after efficiency. Now what you see here is a 240i. Hii number inaweza change. There's an L, there's an S, there's a B. Toyota are just slapping their numbers there. Literally, it had very little or difference in terms of how this car looked like. Kivitu kinogodo kwa interior kama leather seats, like small things. Even some of these cars came with a sunroof, okay? Which is just epic and beautiful. Let's talk about practicality, because that's one reason why you're here. Now, if you are a guy who is looking into hauling a lot of luggage, this is exactly your car for a budget, okay? Because the amount of money you're going to spend to buy this car, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, this will be the ideal compromise here. Huge practical boot space. Angalia hiyo space yote. I've put down the third row of seats, and once you do that, you get a very huge. Yenye unaweza beba. Hii unaweza beba ng'ombe. I don't know why watu wa Probox wanabebanga ng'ombe kwa Probox. I believe this should be the right car. Hata ng'ombe itasikia ni kama hewa inapotea. Like, this is perfect. This is perfect. Now, let's talk about something else. In other markets, this car will come with a spare wheel just under this car, okay? This one does not come with a spare wheel, but it has an extra storage space upper. There you go. See? There's a huge storage space. I don't know, can this fit a spare wheel? You guys tell us. Watu mko na Ipsum, munekanga spare wheel wapi shwari? Because if you bring this thing down, you just bring it down. Here is where you put your jack and all those necessary things. Toyota were quite hands-on back in the days. They used to create cars and hide their spaces well. Let me bring these seats back up. Because once you bring the seats up, then you realize this hii space hapa si mingi sana. See? Funny enough, you can actually recline these seats. So you can see there. So the guys who are sitting here on the third row of seats, I'll do that back there inside. But realistically, you can actually recline. So you can put the seat there. You can pull it and be comfortable. Nice. But you have very little space going on here if you bring the third row of seats up. So I want to know, munaekanga happy spare wheel yenu watu wa Ipsum? But I know that those that came with a spare wheel that is mounted hapa chini kama Prado, okay? But this one doesn't have. If you haven't noticed, the interior of this car is beige and it's looking awesome with very quality cloth, okay? So before I show you about the interior, or I check into the interior and we can discuss the interior options that you can get. Oh, there are no interior options. They're just one, maybe two, cloth and leather, okay? One thing I want to tell you is the way these cars were designed in terms of suspension. Toyota was going for a perfect blend where it gives you reliability, peace of mind, and longevity. So what you have here is a solid beam inapita nyuma, spring na spring kando, alafu shock iko kando, okay? Si ile shock iko katikati ya spring. Watu wanachekanga Mercedes W124 ati iko na spring na shock kando. Toyota pia walikuwa wanafanya hivyo, but they did that on the rear suspension. Pale mbele you have McPherson struts, which are the simplest, most efficient and cost-effective suspension you can have in any car. In fact, right now, even for 2019 Toyota RAV4, they're still using McPherson struts pale mbele. So it means if something is not broken, do not replace it. So tuangalie ndani ya hii gari, because hapa ndani nataka kuanza na hapa nyuma. So one, you remember the big door. So this big door is because angalia how huge. Anybody can actually fit. It's quite huge. The reason why this door is huge is so that it allows you to access or to have space to access the third row of seats. And the way you do that is there's a caliver here you can kanyaga ikiwa umekaa huko ndani. See this caliver? You can do that with your foot, or you can just lift this and then you can bend the seat mbele. And once you do that, then you can check into the car. Once you're here, things get a little bit interesting because I've sat in modern cars. I can tell you this one is very comfortable, okay? The cushioning here is quite good. The quality of the material is still awesome. You get a cloth soft padding on your side seating here, which makes this car feel quite premium. And then you have your cup holder pale, and the other passenger has a cup holder. Now I know the question you're asking is, how does it feel to sit hapa nyuma mtu wa 6'2" kama mimi? As you can see, mtu wa 6'2", I still have a little space hapa, and my headroom is quite, I think for a tall person this place will not be ideal. Okay, kama uko 6'2" kuenda juu, avoid those people. Avoid those people. But it's a nice place to be. And one thing that makes me feel special about this car is the fact that I still have air vents hapa na air vent pale. I will show you something else nikikawai second row seat, because on this car I believe Toyota were way ahead of time in terms of what they were creating. And I don't know what happened to Toyota, okay? But I have a special car that is coming on Thursday. It's a 2018 from Toyota. It has something special again. So if you watch this, make sure you stick around, because the car that is coming next, mutafurahia. So now, let me get to the second row of seat, and you can actually recline the seats. So not only can you recline the third row of seats, you can also recline the second row of seats. And you can also get this resting pad with 2 cup holders. I have huko na ka ashtray. Kahapo unaweka macoin. Look at that though. This was not fake. This was not, I want you to understand that this was not fake wood finish. This was real wood finish. Cloth interior, premium. Tuongee juu ya watu wa Mercedes, na watu wa BMW, na watu wa Audi, na watu wa VW. Look at this roof lining here. It has never sagged. It has never been. This is the original roof line that came from the factory, and it still looks this pristine. I know you're wondering what this thing is. Now, this is an air purifier. Unafinya button namna hii. Ona imewaka green blue. Inachukua hewa, inaosha. Listen to that. It cleans up the air. Okay? And then you have the way you control your ACs. These are the vents, but the tab is here. You can go high, you can go low. You can change the fan speed. Come on. Who does that? Okay? Interesting. Quite spacious. Look at my legroom. Look at my headroom. Quite fantastic. This, I believe this is one of the best budget van that you can buy right now. If you have the money, buy this one. Let's check out the front. Then tuangalie engine, tuangalie transmission. I'll tell you about few quirks and features and problems that you will encounter if you buy this car, and how to go around them. Okay? Let's check out the front. Being a multi-purpose van, of course, practicality is one very important aspect, okay? Na hapa tunaongelea juu ya storage compartments. So the wood finish, the real one, is still inaendelea paka huku mbele. Very nice. I love it. The fact that it still looks like this 20-something years later, it is a testimony that Toyota are the guys you trust when you want to build something that will last forever. Storage compartment ya kwanza iko hapa. Hapo ulikuwa na feature pesa. Okay? Na hapa huyu jamaa ameweka bulb. Okay? And then you have another storage compartment here, which is good. You have your 12-volt socket hapo. Then you have another storage compartment hapo. Unaweza weka hapo cigarette nini kana ingia. And then you have your 2 cup holders for the passenger and for the driver. There are 2 cup holders here, but these ones are for the guys at the rear. Okay? So you don't get to use them. And then you have a table here with the wood finish. This Toyota was a stupid idea, because now if you put your phones here, they will fall off when you drive the car. Unless you're using this thing when you're at a stop, then it makes sense. Perfecto. Let's put back the cup holders. This was a genius idea. By the way, this one, back in the days, this was a serious thing. Hapa chini kuna storage compartment ingine, which is very nice, very dope. The steering wheel is quite good. It has leather, okay? But huyu jamaa ameweka blanketi juu. Huyu anakaa ni kama ni mtu anatoka Kisii, but ni sawa. Ameweka blanketi juu, it's all right. The seats are quite comfortable. I love them. Look at the quality of this cloth. I don't know, it's Swedish. Suede. Yani unaosha inang'ara, and then it has this, armrest that everybody gets their own, which is good so you don't share. I think Toyota had this thing on the early versions of their cars, which is dope and fantastic. Now let's talk about some few things. Hii steering wheel ni multifunction. So iko na volume juu, iko na volume chini, unaweza mode hapa ni ya control radio and all that, but it has something else. It has voice command. So it means you can press that voice there na unaongelesha gari. This is in 2 or 3, okay? Hapa mbele iko na parking sensors. The early versions of the Sonar parking sensors at Toyota. That's the button there. You press that one, you activate the parking sensors, and mbele you press off. The parking sensors are off. Hii hapa inakuanga the simplest way. Hii unaona tabaka sasa bado inafanya kazi. Hii ni off, hii ni auto, hii ni kurecycle hewa ndani, hii ni kudefrost mbele, kudefrost nyuma, hii ni fan speed, na hii ni mode. Ukitaka hewa itokee hapa, itokee pale mbele, itokee nyuma. Simple Toyota stuff. Okay? So I don't want to waste too much time here. This is a proper car. Whoever is buying this car, you're not buying, you're not looking for style. This is a budget car that will move people from point A to point B, will move cargo from point A to point B if you're in business. And sometimes you can move even cows from the market to your place after you've bought the mama goats. Okay? There's this column mounted gear shifter. Bwana, me I always dig this thing. This one. Eh? This one. Eh? Eh? Na iko na OD. Niliwaambia OD ni nini? Overdrive button iko hapo. So this is the second gen, and if you remember very well when we did the review of the RAV4, RAV4 ilikuwa inaanza 201 inaenda all the way mpaka 206, okay? And these ran from 2001 all the way to 209. 2010, that was the final year. Now, during that time, Toyota was living a very simple life. They had already made a series of engines. The first gen of this car used to run with the 3S. If you remember the 3S, 3S engines was na run up. And then once they went to the second gen from 201, because every car was transitioning, even the RAV4 first gen was running the 3S series of engines. And this one, they went with the AZ series of engines, okay? So what you get here are two simpler or simple engine options. One is the 1AZ, or 2 is the 2AZ. 1AZ, so mnajua, 2000cc, okay? Then 2AZ, ilikuwa inatoka na 2400cc. The same engine utapata kwa RAV4. So all those problems that you will find on that engine or the RAV4 are the same problems you'll find on this engine. It's the same plant, nothing has changed, okay? It came out with the defect of the rings, and hizo rings goes nafanya inachoma oil kidogo, and people had two options. One is you will top up your oil and drive this car, experience a bit of smoke occasionally here and there, or number two, just strip the engine open, rebuild it with an improved version of the rings, and you're good to go. Nothing else to worry about, because they were solid engines. Both the 1AZ and the 2AZ were fantastic engines, to say the least. They are among the most reliable engines that you can have on any Toyota, even currently, okay? Paired to this car, you can get it with two gearbox or two transmission options. One is a 4-speed automatic, which is this particular one. And the second one would be a 5-speed manual, okay? Simple, easy, straightforward. No mambo ya kusumbuana hapa na pale. And the fact that this car is still standing next to me today, and it can start up, and it can drive, it tells you of the legacy of what Toyota has done. People joke around with the reliability when it comes to Toyota, but look, it's something that you need to consider seriously when you're buying your car. Anajua mnashangai why inapita juu ya engine ni nini. Hii sasa ndo shifter cable, okay? So it's coming from that column inspired gearbox shifter. And that one now runs through this. So this cable is attached to it. So ukichange gear hapa ndani kuna cable ina stretch, na pale chini inaingia kwa ile 4-speed auto, ina change gear, inawachilia. Ina change gear, inawachilia. Interesting, simple. Yeka cable kana katika gear ingi. Una change gear inakuangalia ngo, inakuambia nini. So now the only thing I need to do is drive this car and give you my experience. Do I like how it drives? Is it a car that you can trust over long distances? Is it a car that you can haul your people comfortably from point A to point B? Wacha ndesha hii gari na Mbugua nisikie maoni yake ni gani. Si ndio? Yes, Mr. Bugwa, welcome to another Driving with a Man.
Driving with a Man.
Ulisema ulisema sasa umegrow utaki kuwa boy.
Sasa ni Mbugua, sasa ni.
Sasa hii Mbugua sasa ni tumedelete. Ama Ama bado ni Bugu SI unit?
Ni Bugu SI unit.
Yeah.
Most people know me that way.
Yes. Find Bugu as SI unit across all platforms.
My name is all platforms.
Across all platforms?
Yes.
So sasa, this is the people carrier. People carrier.
People carrier.
Yes.
AKA picnic.
Picnic, yes. In another way, they correct the picnic in another market. Yeah, that speaks to the reason why gari itengenezwa. One thing yenye mimi like nayo hii gari, venye nimekaa tu hivi. Angalia position nimekaa. Like nimekaa juu, it feels like an SUV. It's so high as a driver.
Okay.
It is, and the visibility iko sawa, una sit in a commanding position. And like kama kununua kawish. Bana wish iko chini. Wish hata no unakaanga chini. I don't know what Toyota did with this, but inakufanya unakaa juu.
You feel like you're sitting in a RAV4 actually.
Yes. Check when you make a cabos.
Cabos here hapa. Cabos here hapa.
This guy is nice.
The one thing I love about it is also the aspect of kila kitu iko karibu.
Yes.
See even the cup holders hapa, kuna cup holders hapa. Get other cup holders over here. Napata meza. Hii ni meza hata si hiki. Hii ni meza.
Shida tu ni ukiweka simu ukifunga break, simu
inaanguka huko chini. But other than that, generally test practicality gari by the way. I carried 3 office desks and I sit on this car.
Did you take pictures?
No, I didn't take. That's the problem. But the thing
you
is,
messed up.
Guys
should have seen.
They have to believe me that I carried 3 desks
plus a seat.
Plus a seat. So practicality venye hizo vitu zote zinalala flat because there's a way you can actually lalisha zote.
Yes.
And like of course si kama Honda venye ati zina disappear, but it still
very
provides the practicality of that car.
100%.
What about the engine of this car?
Sasa in terms of the driving dynamics, mimi na enjoy. Kwanza hiyo sijui suspension ikoje, but it's very soft. Like napenda tu vibe ya hii gari. Hii si gari ya kukimbizana na watu kwa barabara. Hii ni gari unaweka familia and it's very comfortable. I like the seats. Unaona umeekelea hapo kwa handrest nilipo.
Kila mtu ako kivyake.
Atuguzani. Ni gari gani nyingine ilikuwa rafu? Hizi time Toyota walikuwa wanaweza gari mzuri. Si vitu za guzana.
Even the CRV I think it had this. You remember?
Very good.
It was a very This is very important by the way. People have to underestimate the need of this rest. Because if you look at the Noah, I don't think the Noahs had.
No, they don't.
They do not have.
Hapo unakaa tu kama
ni either ukiangalia mbele ama umeweka tu jabato wako pale mbele.
So the driver comfort is good. You know, this is the same era ya RAV4.
Okay.
So engine ziko hapa mbele ni ile 1Z na 2Z. Kama hii iko hapa ni 2 liter. Hii ni 2.4.
So in terms
kuna
of
juice ina push 160 HP. Ina push 160 HP na 4-speed auto. Hapo ndo shida. 4-speed auto with very long gear ratios. So unaona kama gear moja sikia. Hiyo ni gear moja tu. Ati
bado hujashika.
Hiyo ni moja tu na imefika 100. Hiyo ni gear moja. Hiyo bado ni gear moja tu.
What?
I don't even change.
One gear.
Yes.
From 40 to 100. One gear.
Yes. So that's supposed to be auto for you. But most cars in that era ilikuwa hivyo. Hata ukinunua Scudo ama nini ilikuwa tu hivyo, hata hiyo RAV4 pia. So you will really do that. Sikia venye kuna ruka hizo bumps. Fiti kabisa. So ni gari fiti. As long as unatekea hizo issues ziko kwa 2Z na 1Z. Hizo kuchoma oil kidogo kwa 2Z na hizo seals.
Seals
yes, of course kwa hii already nimeona kuna signs mahali za seals square out. So whoever is buying this car lazima deal na hiyo.
Alafu naona ilikuwa na sona.
Iko na sonar sensors.
Sonar sensors bana.
Yes, unazimishia hapa, iko na button paka kwa steering.
Okay.
I've told guys about this.
You had the proximity.
Yes. No, hii haina proximity but itakuona ukikaribia.
Ukikaribia kitu.
Yeah.
That was a good technology. Which is this?
These are 203, 204.
203, 204.
Yes, same generation tuna RAV4.
A bit of technology and then this thing.
It's just an air purifier.
This thing has fascinated me when I was sitting here. So I was trying to figure out how it works.
Yeah, you just click on that button, then you put your AC on, then it circulates air through that to make sure that the air that you breathe is very clean. You know, a lot wanakuanga na sinus ziko sensitive car.
Hapo sasa. But one thing about this car
Yes.
is I would take it over any day, any time. As I told you, the Wish.
Of course.
As much as of course you'll spend a little bit higher in terms of price point than this year Wish.
Yes.
It was very ugly, by the way.
Yeah.
They were very ugly.
Yeah.
But in terms of space, ukaa hapa nyuma unaona tu mwenye anaketi hapa nyuma, you'll be very comfortable person, and as a passenger here,
It was very
it was
comfortable.
very comfortable.
Out of 10, give it your marks.
Out of 10,
Kumbuka hii gari inauzwa 700k.
700,000.
Yes.
For 7-seater.
Yes, 7-seater, 204, 700k.
With a RAV4 engine, which
With a RAV4
guarantees
engine.
me a bit of, not a bit, reliability if I solve those
100%.
issues.
Yes.
Let me give this car clean, maybe 8.5.
8.5.
Yes.
I'm solid with you on that. I'll give it an 8.5 as well. You need 17 out of 20.
Out of 20.
Yeah, it provides value for money for a people carrier. Perfect.
Speaking, kuna unaketi pale nyuma na unaenda out.
Gari ni fit. The only problem imenyima hiyo 2 points. Ni hizo vitu kidogo inafaa udeal nazo, and pia haina spare wheel. Na ingekuwa na spare wheel ningeongeza ka 0.5.
Out there the Wish wins.
Of course.
Because the Wish does have a spare tire.
Yeah.
But for this kind of car, 700k,
Big value for money.
value for money.
How much are you going to spend if you want to buy this car? Sasa hapa ndo kuna tricks kidogo, okay? And this one is where I'm going to break down a little bit of numbers here and there. Now, you're a young guy or an old guy for that matter. You're looking for a car that is budget friendly, a car that can hold you well, a car that can give you storage and space. Uko na kabiashara kidogo una supply to computer pale na pale kwa county. I hope our baby sewage kama Sakaja ukipeleka pale KP. But anyway, you need to move some stuff, okay? And you need a car that is budget friendly. Something that can accommodate anything between 400 to 700,000 Kenya shillings. Well, the car I'm sitting on right now is that perfect car for you. If you can get around the small things you've talked about in gari mzee. So if you're buying this car, of course, there are things you need to check, okay? After pre-purchase inspection, unapewa report, unajua ni nini nafaa ufix kwa hii gari kama ni suspension. Buying a local used car, you'll never get a car that is 100% good. That is something that I need you to know. Ni gari inatumika na mtu na ni gari mzee. Unaweza hata nunua kama iko mzuri uendesha hivi kidogo ikufe, okay? That's something I need you to really have as a clarity. But of course, a pre-purchase inspection will help you make sure that you're making the right and proper decision. And of course, after that, you get a list of all the things that are bad, and then you make your own judgment call. Do you believe that the list of the problems that the car has is something you're willing to forego or go over or fix and then buy that car at a good price? That means you negotiate the car based with the report you get kutoka kwa pre-purchase inspection. That's why me insist sana. If you come to us, if you want to do business that, then of course pre-purchase inspection is a must. Not only for your good, but for my good as well. Okay? So hapo ni hivyo 400, 700 depending na quality, spec, venye inakaa, venye imelindwa. Unajua Wakenya wanakuwa na mambo mingi. Wengine wanakuwa wameweka roho hapo. It all comes down to how the car actually looks. You get one that has been poorly kept, 350, even 390 thereabout, you can get a good car. If you get one that has been solidly taken care of, looking at 700, 750 on the maximum. So there we go. See you on the next one. But before I go, I want to show you something. Nyinyi mnaona hii review. This is what is coming next. Which car is that? Which car is that?